So, lads, I'm pretty confident that the Giannis Antetokounmpo era with the Milwaukee Bucks will not lead to another title. I know. I'm sorry, but it's looking like it's not going to lead to anything. And you know what? Look, some teams don't ever win a ring. In this modern era of basketball, it's not that easy to win a ring, especially because Giannis did it in the quote-unquote super team era. He technically beat a super team, although two of the three guys on a super team were injured to do it. He technically beat a super team. So in the modern era, it's going to be different teams constantly winning rings. Miami might be able to build a wall. He might win another ring, but it's probably not going to be in Milwaukee because Milwaukee have just kind of screwed themselves financially. But I'm sorry. There's a reason why I'm standing up for this. This is Milwaukee are talking about, we're going to be big players. We're going to help Giannis Antetokounmpo win a ring. We're going to help him go and win a ring. Do you want to know who they're targeting? They're targeting a near 34-year-old Torrey Craig. Torrey Craig. In the year of 2024, they are targeting Torrey Craig. No team has shown interest in making a deal with Milwaukee Bucks at this time. Marjon Beauchamp and Pat Connaughton have been made available in trade discussions in order to try and get talent in the ring. Veteran forward Torrey Craig is a player they've shown interest in. What are we doing? What are we doing? This is the year 2024. You know what, Torrey Craig? If you look at Torrey Craig's career, he has almost won in a bunch of places. He played in Denver before they won anything. He was on the Milwaukee Bucks roster in the 2020-2021 season. He played in the 2021 NBA Finals. Guys, he was traded to the Phoenix Suns. He was traded to the Phoenix Suns. And in the finals, 3 years ago, I repeat, at 30 years old, in the finals, he averaged 3 points per game. He averaged 3 points per game. And now he's playing with the Chicago Bulls. Man averages 5 points per game on 43% shooting. I repeat, he's a 34-year-old who averages 5 points per game for a bad Chicago Bulls team. I repeat, is he averaging more than that this year? That's what he averaged last year. I could be wrong. Maybe he's averaging more than that this year. Maybe he's averaging more. Nope. On the freaking dot, the guy averages 5 points per game. And I get it. I like Torrey Craig. He's fine. He's a perfectly fine NBA player. But I'm sorry, you're not going to win it. Why? What's the point of making lateral moves? At least if you trade, just trade and maybe Marjon Beauchamp might be worth something. But what is even his contract? Torrey Craig. I'm going to look at what his contract is. He's making on a 2-year, $5 million deal. So he's making $2.5 million a year. So you have to trade Beauchamp straight up from him. You're not going to trade Pat Connaughton. But I'm like, Pat Connaughton's better than him. I don't rate Pat Connaughton that highly, but he's better than Torrey Craig. What are we doing? What are we doing, Milwaukee? What's the point? Just lateral moves aren't going to get you anywhere, especially because it's we're looking to help Giannis Antetokounmpo and Dame, so we're going to bring in a 5-point per game scorer on a bad team. And we're going to bring a guy that we deemed surplus to requirements 3 years ago when we won a championship. They didn't even deem him good enough 3 years ago. All he's done is been 3 years older. And do you want to know what he was traded for? I'm not joking when I say this. Do you want to know? This is a championship-winning Milwaukee Bucks team in the year of 2021. During that season, when they thought they were one of the favorites to win it, them and Brooklyn in the East, and then obviously them Brooklyn and Philly in the East, to be fair, and then in the West it was at the time everyone thought it was going to be the Lakers. So those three teams, they were the favorites. They were the favorites to go through in the Eastern Conference. So do you guys know when they had Torrey Craig on their team, what they traded him for? And by the way, this is 3 years ago when Torrey Craig is better than he is right now. Cash considerations. They deemed him surplus to requirements that they literally traded him for nothing. Nothing. They traded him mid-season for nothing. And now this is the player that's going to save them. And you might be saying, it's just to make the team a little bit better. This is a team that needs saving. I'm sorry, whatever trade they make needs to save them. They need to pull off the heist of the century like Rob Pelinka did in 2023. They need to somehow turn Russell Westbrook into Russell Westbrook and I can't remember who else they traded. But they somehow turned it into D'Angelo Russell, D'Lo, Vando, Malik Beasley. Who else did they sign? Who else did they get in that? They got someone else, didn't they? Rui Hachimura. Somehow turning Russ and I think it was like Russ, Pat Bev for all of those guys, and suddenly your team's like a borderline contender again. They need to make the miracle Rob Pelinka 2023 trade. Otherwise, just blow it all up. Torrey Craig in 2024. Why not go get Cam Thomas? Cam Thomas is just he's a bucket in fairness to him, but he doesn't help anything. Less defense. Let's just get rid of our defense. May I suggest addition by subtraction? There's no addition by subtraction players in this team. You can't get rid of any of them. Imagine they had a guy like, I don't know, Drew Holiday, I guess. But like, I didn't even know. Look, I'm not watching the Chicago Bulls. I didn't even know Torrey Craig was still in the league. Like, I remember him being pretty solid at Denver when Denver were fine. That's what I remember from Torrey Craig. His best ever season was a season where his best ever spell was with the Phoenix Suns in the 2022-2023 season, where he averaged 7 points a game. That was the best Torrey Craig has ever been. And he was a starter because the team had spent all of their freaking money on Chris Paul, Kevin Durant, and Devin Booker. They spent all their money, and DeAndre Ayton was there at that stage. They had all their money spent in their big four. They literally had to get a bunch of minimum guys, and he happened just to be the best of the minimums. And that's the best year of his career he's had. Like, I don't even hate Torrey Craig. Like, this is going to make it seem like I hate Torrey Craig. It's just, why is this news? Oh, to try help Giannis getting another ring, we're getting Torrey Craig. That's like saying, to try help LeBron getting, or did Miami not actually do the Smush Parker thing? Like, to try get Wade another ring? I was about to say get Smush Parker, but I actually think that Miami did that. What year did he play for the Miami Heat? 07, 08. Yeah, in order to try get Wade and Shaq another ring, the Miami Heat actually did sign Smush Parker. And as a Heat fan, I can't believe I almost mentioned Smush Parker. But it's like, I don't know, in 2011, to try help LeBron and Miami get a ring, because, their starting center the previous year was Joel Anthony. Dexter Pittman was on their roster. They had Eddie Curry on their roster. So you know what we're going to bring in? We already have these centers that really suck. We're going to bring in Kwame. Like, it's basically like saying that. But what is even the trade going to be? The only way the trade works is actually if they get Pat Connaughton. Man, Pat Connaughton's better than Torrey Craig. What are we doing? What are we doing? The only way that this trade works is by trading Pat Connaughton. Because they're over the second apron, you're right. They can't do a 1-for-1 trade. Because, oh my God, he must make less than Torrey Craig. Oh no. If he makes less than Torrey... There's no way. There's no way. If he makes less than Torrey Craig, you're giving up Pat Connaughton. There's no way. There's actually no way. If this team gives up Pat Connaughton for Torrey Craig, like, that is one of the most lateral moves I have ever seen. The only way that makes sense is if you can make that trade. Actually, no, you're still above the second apron. Like, you're actually still above the second apron. So... I just don't. I don't get Milwaukee. I don't get it. But I'm just saying, like, the way to save Giannis' career is not, in fact, by bringing Torrey Craig into the squad.